Wake up, it's that time again. The sun's not here, but we're on again. Grab your coffee, grab your crystals and gather round. It's not lunch, it's not breakfast, it's the time we found. For brunch, well maybe we're busy. For brunch, maybe we're lazy. For brunch, well maybe it's conquest. For brunch, or a be your request. But brunch is the time that we make for each of us, where we ask ignored dumb stuff, because brunch will always be the special time for eggnogs and for me.
Hey, hello, and welcome. I know there's a lot going on today. We released Zeta Protocol earlier this morning. I quite literally just released a video not even 10 minutes ago, and people are giving me shit about what do we watch and blah, 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 and it is what it is. And Fat Phil is sliding into my DM saying things that are very sexually explicit. But I'm home. Right, I had to go to some doctor's appointments today. I am getting old, and as we get older, we know that we're not invincible anymore. And now I'm sitting here at my computer in my pajamas, ready to do some TB, probably on two accounts. On my own account, also on user's account. He generally does his own TB, but he was nice enough to allow me usage while I'm at home and bored. And also to help figure out some team composition stuff. So we'll try to get both done before I have to go to the dojo to actually teach the classes. So Tico, man, best of luck, dude. Honestly, what are you going for? What kind of job? I don't know. I know you write. I'm aware that you are a writer, but I didn't know if that was like your profession. Professionally, or if it's also like, or just a hobby, because I know that you do a lot of the Twitch, like writing streams, Star Wars streams and stuff like that. I like it. Don't lie. I do, Phil. I do. Ooh. Ooh. All right. Well, let's see. We're going to pop in. And my game, because I have it turned off. That's right, from when I was filming before. So let's get that off the screen. Ooh, get that off of the screen. Let's figure it out so the game is actually on the screen. Let's fix my camera. Look at this. This is how prepared I am today. Pop Rise of the Empire. We'll go to the chat app. We'll get our mortgage alerts up there. Property management. Well, hopefully if you get the job, you are as good as the people that I rented from before we bought our house, because they were a dream as a property management company, and really not the norm from what I have heard. Sindel, hello, good morning. Well, afternoon. It's almost 1 p.m. Let's see what's going on here. We have about 2 seconds left in the phase. Then it's time to go, and Fat Phil will watch what it's really like, how a phase should be really done without having to wait for the platoons like a Puss in Boots. Just gotta rip the Band-Aid off and get it over with is the best way forward. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. You know, I don't know if any of you are Jonathan Colton fans, but the theme, the brunch theme, Q24, reminds me of Blue Sunny Day, which was a song about a vampire that really wants to step outside and I guess kill himself because he's just over it and tired with life, and he's depressed because he's a vampire. Am I excited for Satil Shan? I mean, yeah. Look, I'm not an Old Republic guy. I played Star Wars: The Old Republic for a little while. She seems cool. I don't know who the hell she is. I am always excited for somebody who makes an old team feel new. So I am definitely excited in that regard that, characters like Jedi Knight Revan and Bastilla, they will have a home again. Whereas Jedi Knight Revan was kind of just like, hey, you're our mark for a JML team. What does that do to a JML team? I mean, kind of sucks. Hopefully there is a plan there since we have continuously robbed from that team. Phil, look, here's the deal. I know that I do less stars than you, but I don't have to have a headache when I am doing TB with my guild. You guys are like, oh my God, you can only do this one combat and only with these 5 characters, and please stop after that. Who has the goddamn time for that shit? Like, I don't. Today I do. I don't normally have the time for that. New Instinct, good morning, afternoon. I don't know what time it is for you. I think you're either in Germany or Australia. I think Australia, if I remember correctly. Silky, hello. Oh my God, I've become one of those streamers that says hello to everybody. Fuck, kill me now. Damn it, and I called myself a streamer. Fucking shit. User, I can't say hi to you. We've been talking since this morning. I've been talking to you since 5 a.m. All right, see, I knew it was either Germany or Australia. I knew it. Well, let's get started, because I'm going to keep talking to you guys while we actually do the combats, right? I do my platoons afterwards. There's no reason for me to do them first, because I'm just going to do... I apologize, Lamptla. Good morning to you as well. You're right. You said it much earlier while I was still in my let's get into the stream mode. So that's my bad. It really is. Let's see. Look at me, I'm Fat Phil. We have 27 stars. I don't give a shit, man. I don't fucking care. Don't fucking care, man. My guild is easier going. My guild is lighter. We're more relaxed. I know that Germany and Australia are a bit far away, but you know what? The majority of my audience is either in Germany or in Australia. I don't know why it is. It's probably because of the times that I stream. But I know a lot of Germans, and I know a lot of Australians. Oh my God, you get 75 crystals more than I do. Oh no, what will I ever do? Phil, just drop me your Venmo, man. I will send you the 50 cents. If you're that hurt for it. If you need it that bad, just let me know. You're my brother, man. I will help you out. Do I think that they're going to invest more in Rise of the Empire or shift to another one? I think the whole point of Rise of the Empire was so that they didn't have to invest in another one. I like Rise of the Empire in concept. I just think it's too time consuming. I do think that there are some problems with TB that will not be solved by a new TB, and I think that they just need to make some fixes here, and then they can kind of decide what they want to do in terms of like new planets and different planets, or choosing between planets, you know, choosing between going to Kashyyyk or going to Naboo. You know, one is an easier planet and is more for the earlier game, and one is more geared towards the end game, and you get stars, but you also get something else, so it's worth doing, or at least worth trying. Something along those lines. Get you a natty. You are a cheap date. Speaking of that, I need to go get my drink, and by drink I don't mean alcohol, because it is 1 p.m. Da, da, da. It's happy hour somewhere. You're right, it is happy hour somewhere. I have a rule, though. If I have to teach karate, if I have to teach a martial arts class, I will not drink at all before it. Even, I know, obviously, that sounds like the lowest common denominator. But, like, I've gone out to lunch with friends, and they'll get a beer, and I won't have to teach for 6 hours. I'm still not going to have a beer. On a snowy day, if school's closed, but I don't think I need to cancel the dojo, I'm not going to have amaretto in my hot chocolate. I just, it's a rule that I have. Alcohol is reserved for Borderlands this evening. Yes, it is. And for those who don't know, tonight is game night. Myself and C Squared, we have been playing through Borderlands 4. I don't do it on Twitch. I don't do it on YouTube, so it is not going to be streamed. But on Discord, we do go into the Tipsy Gungan to chat. If anybody joins us, I do stream the game to Discord, and it's just a hangout. It's not meant to be talk about Star Wars. It's not meant to be Eggnards has to be on. It's just a bunch of people hanging out like friends do. And it's open invitation to anybody that wants to join us there always. There we go. Wake up, it's that time again. I really am hoping for some Rise of the Empire changes, but I do think, like I said, Lampla, I do think that we need to solve the problems with time commitment before they try to change anything else with the game mode first. Yeah, we played for a couple hours. It'll be about like 7:15 EST tonight, 7:15, 7:30. User, I was planning to. Yeah. I was, unless you don't want me to, I was planning on doing it live. We'll see what happens with your roster. We'll see what happens with a different roster. You won't be the first account that I've used. I've used a bunch. I've used Moonborns. I've used honestly, during the summer when all of my guildmates go on vacation and I'm at home, I'm running like, this summer I was running 3 TBs at once, and it was insane. It was terrible. It was awful. I would not trade it for the world. One guildmate, I was meant to just do maintenance on his account while he was on a cruise. I ended up doing his entire conquest just for funsies, just to see if I could. It was very fun because I didn't realize that half of his account didn't even have mods on it. And I was beating combats even without mods on. So that was interesting. But that's the summer when I have more time. Right? During the summer, outside of like the camps that I teach, I generally am at home and my wife is working and I'm here. I definitely need to get a chair by this summer because I'm using her office chair. So I don't, Siver, here's the thing. I don't think TW is the biggest issue, but I understand why you say that. I think that TW is basically and fundamentally a dead game mode. And I do think that it needs to be changed, but I don't think it's an issue because the rewards just don't really matter that much now. It is something that they don't need to deal with right now because nobody is hurt by the decision of TW sucking. I think there are things that need to be taken care of that actually are actively hurting the player base. Something like TB and how long TB takes, I think is actively hurting the player base. And I think that that's a problem that needs to be solved. I do think the TW problem needs to be solved. I do think that it's just it being the one game mode that requires you to be on an on-call schedule. It doesn't work out. But I also think that TB is such a huge time sink that they need to solve that time sink, or people are going to get frustrated. And the problem with this frustration is that you can't even spend your way out of it. An ambitious plan, a chair, yeah. I'm very picky about chairs. Very, very picky. I'll sit in anything, but not like I'm not gonna put my money to any chair. It has to be a pretty decent quality chair. It has to be something that's gonna last for a while. It has to be something that's not gonna make my butt go numb, like the makeup stool that my wife has generally does. I might get one of the secret lab chairs that Bit Dynasty was showing them to me. And there's one that I kind of liked, and I was thinking about it. But they're on pre-order till the 26th. And like, you know, when you order something online, you want it now. You want to know it ships tomorrow. You don't want to be like, oh, I got to wait a month. So that's like my first world problem right there. Why I'm in her makeup chair. So right now I'm in her office chair. But the only other, I guess I could use one of the dining chairs this summer. Last summer we didn't have dining chairs. Now we have dining chairs. So I guess I could use the dining chair. But before that, I had her makeup stool, and that was the only other chair in the house. Other than the couches, which sounds ridiculous now that I say it out loud. We don't eat at the dinner table. When you're married and you don't have kids yet, you just eat at the coffee table. Will this win? I don't know. This one is it's looking a bit scary. Remember, we're doing this all on auto. I don't know if there's any combats in day 4 that oh, there's one that I have to do on manual. I always had a dinner table user. We've always had a dinner table, but we didn't have any dinner chairs. We had dinner chairs when at our old apartment. When we moved, we didn't want to move them. They were a pain in the ass. They were stupid. We got rid of them. We sold them. We didn't need them. And we used our dinner table as more of like a storage area. Howdy do. Extreme F. The extreme effort. It's not that it's effort. It's that it's time consuming. Right? Because I do have to sit here for an hour. And if I'm not just sitting here for an hour, I do have to keep coming back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Or if I'm on my phone, if I'm not at home, my phone is indisposed for that hour. And my phone is draining a quarter of its battery life during that time while I have to do this stuff. It's annoying. Oh, man. No, when we eat dinner, we eat in the living room on our coffee table. We sit on the couch. Well, my wife sits on the couch. I sit on the floor. And we watch TV. When we have kids, that'll probably change. But that right now is how we do things. Is it the right way to do things? Probably not. But that is how we do things now. Hey! Shadow, how is it going? I can say hi to you because I haven't been talking to you all morning. And I feel bad. I said howdy doody, but Seven Call, hello to you as well. Yeah, I thought it was a good episode of Zeta Protocol. We got some very minor things wrong, I think, but overall, I enjoyed the vibe of the episode. I could have kept going. But, you know, all good things have to come to an end. No, I don't mind eating on the floor. I sit at the coffee table on the floor, crisscross. I eat my food. I'm a fast eater, and then I go to the couch. I could sit on the couch. I don't want to get any food on the couch. My wife doesn't seem to care about that. But we have 2 couches. She likes the small couch. If she wants to get food on the small couch, that's her problem. I should have been harsher. We say we'll eat at the table. Yeah, I think when we have kids, maybe I feel like, you know, there's a lot of interesting data coming out about screen time and like modern TV shows. And I was reading a study recently about modern TV shows versus modern kid shows versus, well, toddler shows, I should say, versus toddler shows from the early 90s into the 2000s, and how the shows now are so overstimulating that they are changing the brain chemistry of kids. And that is, you know, not great, versus the not as stimulating but interesting shows that I watched as a kid, like Franklin, Arthur, Little Bear. I don't remember what it's called, Maggie and the Ferocious Beast and Nowhere Land, that kind of stuff. So we probably will be a family that limits that a little bit, and will eat at a table and teach our kids to read and do things. Listen, Shadow, Borderlands night tonight. Me and C Squared will be in Discord. Yeah, I think when the kids hopefully come, you know, I think that we will probably, oh no, this is the wrong one. We will probably end up with a lot less of that. My kids will grow up on Little Bear. Franklin could count by 2s and tie his shoes. I don't remember the whole thing, but hey, it's Steve Jobs said not to let kids have an iPad. That's a sign. I mean, that is a sign. It's not hard data, but it is a sign. It's, hey, it's Franklin coming to my house. Hey, it's Franklin coming to play. Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. Oh my god. Maggie and the Ferocious Beast in Nowhere Land. In Nowhere Land. Come along if you can. Hey ho, come on, let's go to Nowhere Land with Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. Yeah, we'll be there for like 3 hours. And then I know it hasn't aged well, obviously, but Little Bill. There's a lot of great shows. And then Face, oh my god, on Nickelodeon, Face in between the cards. Hi kids, Face here. Hey Face, kids here. No, that's not right. My god, that's my childhood. Gola Gola Island, does anyone remember Gola Gola Island? Come and let's stay together in the bright sunny weather. Let's all stay at Gola Gola Island. Gola Gola. Oh my god. I mean, so when Franklin and all that stuff came out, I was a little too old for it, but I had younger siblings. And I used to watch that stuff like slightly above age, and it was just great. It was fun, interesting TV for kids. I personally grew up on like Barney and Sesame Street. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Beautiful. We don't have Bo-Katan at R9 yet, so we can't do that one yet. No, I did not miss that. I did say that in... Well, I might have missed it in Zeta Protocol because I was not aware. Like, we only saw... I only saw what Pico told me. Oh, wait. No, I think you're saying... Hold on. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. Holy shit. Let me pull it up. Data mine. Where is the T35? Oh, actually, I have it in my Moonborn thing. Moonborn. Enemies can't have the health reduced while the enemy leader is present. No. So it says enemies can't have their health reduced below 1% while the enemy leader is present, but can be instantly defeated. So that to me says that the leader can die. That tells me the leader can die, but nothing else can die except to instant defeat. I don't fully know how it works, but I want certain things to die. And not every team has an instant defeat. And that to me, I'm not going to give CG shit for it because, like, I do get it is a step in the right direction. But I don't think it is fully where it needs to be yet. Now, if the enemy leader also can't die except for instant defeat, maybe that makes things slightly better, but I want certain things to die. I don't want 5 enemies most of the time, unless they're very slow enemies. If you have fast enemies, you want shit to die. How'd it go, Sotico? Wow, that was fast. I didn't realize that it was happening so quickly. I didn't even know you left. I thought it was more like, oh, in like an hour. We're finishing. All right. We're getting there. Man, Lady Geek just comes in hot like user, not like user, like Unholy Baroness. Except Unholy Baroness would clip it herself and be like, look at the thing that he said. Cancel Egnards. Don't worry, we're only 20 minutes into this, and we've got 3 planets to go. What did I hear on the stranger counters? You're submitting to the FBI. Oh, I have comments for that. I heard from you this morning that with Maul in there, CLS and Imperial Troopers work on it. Yeah, listen, Lady Geek, I heard OG Night Sisters too. And I went in very confident with my OG Night Sisters. And my OG Night Sisters got spanked. And I have very good OG Night Sisters. My OG Night Sisters are Relic 8 and have all of their Omicrons. Seven Call, we do what's called holiday TV during the holidays, and holiday TV, we don't stress We don't stress at all. We lose some stars. It's not a big deal. We actually didn't even lose a star this year, but we don't care about combats. We just go through. Yeah. I actually had a kid in school. I had a kid in school yesterday tell me, he's like, Mr. Egnards, you threw a pen at me. And it was like a joke. Didn't like throw it hard at him. I like lobbed it at him. And I was like, yep, I did. And he's like, teachers shouldn't be throwing pens at kids. And I was like, no, they probably shouldn't. Do you want to go tell the principal? Because I will back you up. Please get me fired. He was very confused by that. But he was also in good nature. He knew I was joking with him, and he was joking with me. I would never throw a pen at a kid in the way in which it sounds. Did I use Healercron Thrawn? Yes, I did. I used Old Daka Healercron. And I was doing really well. And they had so many stacks. And then Starkiller got his ult. And everybody except for Zombie was dead. It was with GK, though. I don't know if that matters. So General Kenobi was on the team as a tank. And that did make things more annoying. Right now, I am a special ed 1-to-1 in a gen ed program. So this particular student was a gen ed kid. Is not the kid I'm assigned to, but who is in the room that I am assigned to. The kids know me as the fun one. I am the silly one. I am the one that gets them distracted on purpose. Yesterday was National Bobblehead Day. They took my picture and turned it into a bobblehead. I told them they should have just told me about this because I would have brought in a bobblehead of me. Because I do have an Egnard, well, like a real me Egnard's bobblehead. Which was a gift, by the way. I did not buy it myself. That would be ridiculous if I bought a bobblehead of myself. Hello from the other side. My Twitch chat, they can't hide. And I need you. Havorius, I did for the thumbnail, I did an A/B test. I did both of them, and they both have different names. One of the names is more like Egnard's, and one of the names is more clickbaity. And we're gonna see which one gets more clicks. But Moonborn sent me both. Moonborn sent me both cards, and he was like, I know which one you should pick. And I was like, you know which one I will pick, but I'm gonna call your bluff. Bought it? No, yeah, it was the Egnard's bobblehead. The Egnard's bobblehead was a gift to me as a groomsman's gift. But not like Egnard's the egg, like Egnard's like me, the person. It was a groomsman gift for being in his wedding party years ago. Yo, give me a minute. My healthcare provider is calling me. Hold on.
Rush to reviews. Egnards is having a break and taking a Rush to reviews.
Right. Well, I apologize about that. I was at the doctor today. I was getting some just tests done, annual physical, some concerns I wanted to get checked up on, and they were just calling me. Nothing that was as important as I thought it was, so I apologize. I was clearly not ready to put slides on today. All right. So this is the only combat that I really have to do on manual. There we go. There we go. We don't want to use the taunt, because then we can't give him the taunt with this. Oh, I hate this combat so much. I wonder how it is with Rogue One, because I know you can use Ghost here, so I'm curious how it is. I've never tried it. I haven't tried it since Rogue One. It was a funny gift, Shadow. I didn't know what to do with it at first. I was like, what? Who has a bobblehead of themselves? But now I see the joy in it, and I'm glad that I kept it. And it looks like it was well made. It's not like some cheap plastic thing. It's very heavy. I am a fan. Perfect. We are getting off easy on this one. I think I can probably safely auto it at this point. It's just so annoying, this one, because of the confusion debuff. You don't like want to use the specials too much. You want to be very, very meticulous about when you use the specials. Am I rooting for anyone this weekend? No, not really. I'm a Broncos. I'm a one team kind of person. I might not even watch the games this weekend. My wife won't be home. We like watching football together. I might just do an extended brunch, and then, I don't know, I might go out with friends. I don't get to go out with my friends very often because we do our own things generally on the weekends, and because you find people I enjoy spending time with, which is sad. It's like I seek validation from the internet for some reason. All I know is that this is a not very stressful week for me because we get the first round bye. That's all that matters. All right. Just responding to comments on the YouTube video. Which I guess I could just put up and make it easier to do by doing on my computer, right? That would be smart. Nope, not these guys. Zepho. For brunch, everybody got quiet for brunch. And this is like a specific, like an actual brunch time. So, Pax, the interesting thing here, I know I was replying to some things on YouTube. On YouTube, some people are saying they believe the entire enemy team will be unkillable except by instant defeat. It's not how I read it, but I'm going to acquiesce that that might be possible. But the other problem that happens there is that now you can't Datacron farm, right? Because if you don't bring in a team with an instant defeat, you've now run into this problem where you get into a battle, you feet farm, and you can't win in the last 30 seconds, and you have to actually throw and waste that battle. And it becomes an unproductive battle because you're not Datacron farming. So even if I misread it, I still think the problem persists with the data disk unless there is some way to kill these enemies without needing an instant defeat. Hey, Deadly. Oh, wrong battle. Silly me. Gungans. The Fungans are just so great here. 2 more Gungans needed. Just 2 more. I did. I deliberately scheduled a doctor's appointment right now just so that I can stream. That's exactly what I did. It's 100% what I did. How did you know? How did you catch me? You sly mofo. There we go. Oh, well, I mean, I am sorry to hear that you've left the game. I'm still finding the game overall fun. I understand why some people may have left the game. But it's kind of cool to hear that even though you're not playing right now, you're still like, hey, I still want to listen to your content. That's nice to hear. I thought like only Arnold had that type of loyal fan base. Let's go kill the guys. Well, it matters, Lady Geek, because farming is going to fundamentally... Like, let's assume that Conquest thing isn't there, right? Fundamentally, Conquest is changing with Relic Delta, where players who have more developed rosters are going to have a Relic Delta of 3 or 4 for the predominant amount of their teams. So that when you're feet farming, you're going to be killing things too fast to be able to farm your feats. And that's a problem, because Conquest is annoying, and the only thing that makes Conquest kind of bearable is that I can get it done in like 6 days and then sim the rest of the days. But now if I'm in a position where I have to more actively sit there and I have to more actively focus on the battles even after those 6 days, now Conquest is going to become more of a chore. So CG had said, hey, we are going to make it so that feet farming is fundamentally unchanged, right? And that's why this matters, because they told us, hey, we're going to do this thing to make sure that it's unchanged. And we're still... I feel like what happened is we got put in a boardroom and they said, this is the easiest way to solve the problem, but we're not thinking about all of these other situations that are going on. Outside of which, it doesn't solve the problem for players who don't have characters at relics, right? When you're using JML to call, I don't know, maybe you have JML, but you don't have clones, and you need to get clone kills, or you need to get droid kills, or whatever else. the way that Relic Delta works is you're going to be doing so much less damage with that character, even with the calls. And that is a problem. The dish was my favorite. Our monkey brain. Oh my god. I would try monkey brain. The only thing I wouldn't try, I saw a video of like a South Korean dish that was like still alive worm-like things, and I was like, no, I will not be eating those. I draw the line at my food not being alive anymore. Any traction on driving down Phil's sub count? I hope that Phil is still here listening to this, because he was here a little bit earlier. Wondering why his subs are going down. Guys, I've been losing a lot of subs lately. My god. Yes, but remember, Lady Geek, my job is that I am thinking about people that aren't me too, right? Like, you only have to think about you. I have to think about everybody. That's my job. Okay. So Phil is still here. On Club 38, I told everybody that they should unsub you and that they should post a comment in your latest video saying, this guy doesn't have Relic 10 Wampa unsubscribed. I'm pretty sure there are unit kills actually in there. If we look at it and we go over here, there is, could have swore there was defeat 35 enemies with Gungans, defeat 35 enemies with droids is on there. I think that those are the only two that are on there. Defeat 35 enemies with any Han. So there's 3 that are kill videos. A Philip takedown video. So as of right now, Havorius, they haven't confirmed or denied whether it's going to be active, but the data mine Boolean flag says that it's not active this conquest, which is interesting. Right? So as of right now, Relic Delta is not going to currently be active. I don't know if that's a bug. I don't know if that's going to change. And I said in my video, I do not know if they are planning to use this conquest to test these solutions while keeping it off. I don't have that answer. This is like the easiest planet. Maybe. It's very, very possible, Havorius. And I did stipulate that in the video. That is a very strong possibility. But I also think that, you know, things need to be pointed out. Hey! What's up? Wow, it's early, Positron player. It is very early. I normally see you at nighttime. How's it going, man? Actually, you're normally streaming at the time that I'm streaming, if I'm streaming. I'm just home from work today. Well, for now. I haven't talked to Meathead since before the holidays, actually. It has been, I think, right before Christmas. I wished him a happy holiday. And he was like, oh, no. And I was like, no, no, no. I promise you, I'm just saying happy holidays. I have to. I was going to invite him onto Zeta Protocol. I tried a few times last year. And he said no every time. But he would always ask questions. He'd be like, oh, when do you film? When do you do this? When do you do that? Oh, I support it. But then he would say no. He could just say no up front, not make me answer those questions. Because we knew he was going to say no no matter what. Form an alliance and hash out a streaming schedule. Man, that would be great. But unfortunately for me, my time is so sparing that I don't have a, like, other than Sunday mornings, it's like I stream when I am able to, and it's very rare that I am able to. But I will say I have no problem when other people stream during my time. It's not my time. We share the love. They should, right? Because that also takes some time. Or the one blip data disk, because you do have to take that data disk off, and I know it's only 7 energy. I know it's only 7 energy, but like for people that don't spend a lot, like that is like it's kind of annoying. Is Zeta Protocol the show that I asked you about when I was talking about something that I did? It isn't. I stopped doing it. It was called Tales Off the Holotables. And Tales Off the Holotables is something that I used to do where I would just chat with players and content creators, and we would talk Star Wars and just other life things. We didn't specifically talk about the game. We didn't specifically talk about anything. We just kind of talked. And the goal of it was to show people, like, hey, there are people behind the screen. I feel like I've scratched that itch with guest starring on other people's podcasts, and in doing Zeta Protocol and doing the brunch streams. So I kind of stopped doing it, and it became a little bit too time intensive. But when people are in my area and they invite me out, I go hang out and I have a beer with them. I've gone out and had a beer with a couple of players before in my area. There are hot players in your area. Act quickly. And that's always fun. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't need the Conquest Pass Plus. And I don't need the things that are in the Conquest Pass Plus, honestly. I think that it is super useful to a lot of players. I don't particularly need it. I haven't particularly needed it in a long time. I did buy it a couple of times. I think I bought it like twice, just to kind of test it out. Man, such an easy planet. We're almost done. We are almost there. XP. Who is XP? Oh, Zareth? I don't know where Zareth is. I don't talk to Zareth. Zareth ghosted me for the Gungis last year. I have literally never had a conversation with him ever. I know that that Urs is in Denver or near Denver. He's at least in Colorado. I know he's a Broncos fan. I'm in New Jersey. This is my my Lothal team. It's just my hobnobbed together JMK team. If I could get my Bad Batch to Relic 8, I would run them here instead so that I could deploy my JMK. Many players. What is this, Xander? Many players in real... Yeah, well, actually, at least one of them, I think, has quit the game. So that is semi... That is semi-true. So maybe he's in that area. I'm not sure. I don't really watch a lot of stuff. I don't watch videos. It's very hard. I never watched videos really, but now it's even harder to watch people's videos just because you don't want to be reductive. You don't want to say the things that they're saying. So I'm not too familiar with him other than the fact that he's really good at the datacrons when it comes to figuring out what the next big thing is in datacrons. Jedi train. We have Jedi training Rey though. You know what's going to end up happening with her is she's already pretty good as a nice filler in a Rey squad. And if you make her better just by proxy of being light side, she is going to be in a Rey squad. People are going to go, "Oh, she's good with JML, but works better here. I'm just going to use her here." That's exactly what happened. Goodness. Now, I know the first couple of minutes were bullshitting, but now we're pretty close to an hour doing this. Thoughts on Nooch as a creator? He's a nice guy. I mean, look, Nooch and I, when I first started becoming a creator, I credit him specifically as the reason I started creating content, and it was for a negative reason. I saw some stuff about roster reviews and the prices he was charging, and I was like, "What? I'll just do that. Just tip me. Like, it's ridiculous." But I've come to know him. I've come to talk to him. I've had conversations with him. And I think that, honestly, I've learned a lot of lessons from creating content where there are opinions that I maybe held before when I wasn't in the know like I am now, that I no longer hold because I understand what goes on in the background a lot more than I used to understand. So I give Nooch a lot more credit than I would have if this was 2.5 years ago. And I was actually thinking about this on the grocery store, not specifically about Nooch, but just in general. I think that sometimes it's really, really hard for people to understand what is going on in an ecosystem that they do not participate in. And once they I'm going to leave this empty just in case we need it. And once you exist in that ecosystem, it makes more sense. And you go, "Oh, I get why this person made that decision or makes this decision." And it's really hard to convey those things if people are not in the know. You know, like, I don't have a problem doing roster reviews for free for people. I literally don't. My rule is tip me only if you can afford it, but I really ask everybody to leave a review. And even in that, I'd say 30% of people leave a review. A review is, it's if you can't afford a fucking roster review, fine. I understand that. But if I take 20 minutes out of my time to help you with your roster, the least someone can do is leave that review, right? And that's one little thing that you kind of deal with where people feel like they are entitled to your time more so than you are alone entitled to your time. And those are lessons that I'm learning as a content creator on the fly, and you kind of learn those things. So as far as Nooch goes, I think that he has valued his time a certain way, and I respect the fact that he has stuck to that and that he says, this is how I value my time, and you can choose to use me for a service or you can choose not to use me for a service. I think that is really my strongest opinion on him or anyone else, really. You know, I do get people who drop into my DMs constantly, and I try to answer every DM. I often forget because I have so much going on. But there are a lot of people who legitimately feel like they are entitled to my time and will ask the world of me. They will ask me to do like the most in-depth, insane breakdowns for them. And things that are not hard to do, but they just don't want to do it. They don't want to take the hour to do it. They would rather someone else take the hour to do it. Honestly, the way that some people, exactly, the way that some people say like everybody should be a server in a restaurant, right? And so that you know how to treat people in public, you know how to like treat service professionals. I don't think everyone should be a content creator. But I do think that being a content creator, anyone trying to be a content creator, even for a short time, would help them to understand. Why is this still here? You don't want. Why is my episode quest? What's going on here? What's up with this? I think that if like my perspective on so many things have changed being a content creator and understanding when people ask amounts of money, right? And you go, oh, that's them valuing their time. That's them saying, this is what my time is worth. I'm not telling you remodding is worth $50. I'm telling you that my time is worth $50. I also refused when Captain Amazing helped me remod and said he'd do it for a token price and his time is worth more. That's the thing, Lady Geek. Like, and I stress this to my employees. All of my employees at the dojo are teenagers. And when I do a street fair, I'll tell them, hey, I can only take so many of you because I only have so much payroll that I can give. And I've had some of them say to me before, oh, there it is. It's from tomorrow. I've had someone say to me before, like, hey, I'll do it for free. Like, I don't care. I just like doing it. And I've had to sit them down and explain, like, your time is valuable. Your time is the most important resource that you have, and you have to respect your own time. And it's not about what the service is. It's about, like, this is how I value the thing that I'm doing. I once wrote a comment that went further than your video content. You replied, yeah, do it yourself. I just wrote a comment, didn't expect anything, just threw a ball in there for anyone. I don't know what that's in relation to Event Horizon. I honestly don't. If I knew the comment chain, I would look at it and maybe explain myself. It's very possible. What ends up happening is you kind of get numb to YouTube comments. You get numb to them because a lot of people, they write their YouTube comments as if they're trying to correct you and be smarter than you. And I have no problem being corrected, but there's a right way and a wrong way. So you sort of get numb to the way people talk, and sometimes a few comments might be caught in the mix where it looks like it's somebody trying to be an asshole and holier than thou, and it turns out it's just somebody trying to be helpful. So if that happened, I honestly, I apologize if it was something that you kind of meant in good faith, because often that is not how those comments go. I need this one, right? This guy. And have a couple of days of nothing. Shadow, you are allowed to ask me. You literally pay me to. You pay me to have the privilege of asking me questions literally whenever you want to ask me questions. That is the privilege that you pay for. All right, I'm just going to run one Coliseum on auto because I am running out of time and we want to do users TB as well to kind of help him out with his team compositions. These fucking guys, man. I'm always at 11. I'm just running the one on the auto so that I don't forget to do it. New raid in about 6-7 months. Yes. You also have to remember that sometimes we just have bad days. Some days I come home from work and I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, I'm in the worst mood. It's not you. I apologize if I'm going to be snippy with you. I need to be alone right now because I am pissed off about 5 things that went on at work. It happens, and it happens to the best of us. Tell User to get mace. User's on his way. User is mace eligible. He's waiting for mace to be, Oh my goodness. Look at this. Asaj's doing a lot of damage. He's waiting for mace to be farmable. I try to be super communicative. I learned from past relationships. All right. Well, I got close. To be as communicative as possible. Don't need that yet. Guild store. My guild store is mostly out. We're just getting this stuff. No, man. Listen, I'd have to read the actual comment and my comment, but you got to understand, man. Every once in a while, you read some videos. You read 100 comments that are all just trying to be assholes, and some get through the loops of when you're reading text. Not everything comes through as being sincere, even if you mean it to be sincere. But my whole vibe, my whole goal is I want to try and not be wholesome. I curse too much to be wholesome, but like to be the person that everyone understands and says, hey, there are people here. We're all people. What was my favorite release of 2025? Technically, Yoda and Chewie is 2025, right? That was like 12 too. Oh my god, look at all this energy, man. Oh my god. Jesus. All right, we're gonna see what we can get done here, and he's got more energy, probably. Oh, just the PC thing. Shadow, I got all next week. My wife is still away next week. Your opponent still hasn't attacked. All right, what is it? This day is 3. Okay, 3, 4, 3, 4, or 3 Mandalore, 4 Zepho. We are deploying on Zepho. And Kashyyyk, you guys are finishing Kashyyyk. Let me just make sure. TB3M4Z3. Okay, good. So, man, there's a lot to answer to. And it's hard because I'm also trying to concentrate on doing this. I'm going to have to jump around a lot on this. All right. 3. DS Empire here. Will the 7-star mall unlock come with Zetas and Omicrons, or you need to save for them? You'll probably have to save for Omicrons, but if you get him to his specific highest ability level, I believe you will get the Zetas from those ability levels. If you look in your levels, and I know you can't for mall yet, it shows the ability levels. So I believe Zetas are included in that. I'm not sure about Omicrons. I saw a bunch of stuff. Also, we probably should have had a... Yeah, we already talked about that. Leviathan's the way to go, Bald Man. You know that. We've talked about this recently. Hoarding for bonus drop. User is user. He's not really hoarding. He buys everything. Always buys everything. Does he really need that energy? Maybe not, but also yes at the same time. I think that user, I don't know is the answer. I just don't know. All right, let's see. DS open. Let's do this for DS open. This is a long slog of a battle. This can be an annoying battle. Who unlocked the cluster? Hey, there we go. Still no communication from me. I talked to you. What are you talking about? You know about from CG? Why? Oh, why are they pushing energy? I have no idea. I think because energy is probably like they give you nothing, and it's all RNG. There's also probably a monkey brain thing to getting energy, where if you get a shard, you're kind of like, all right, I got the shard. If you get energy, now you also get the battle. So I bet that there is some like monkey brain thing there. Doing the same mission with the same team. S tier dinner. My S tier. Let's see it. Let's check out the S tier dinner. Man, your dinner. Come over and cook for me, man, because I had a microwave TV dinner, one of the like lower sodium ones. I don't cook when my wife isn't here. I'll probably have another one today because we're doing Borderlands night today, right when I get home. Yeah, well, now they don't even do that anymore, so Tico. Vegas is starting to penny pinch, and then they're wondering why nobody goes to Vegas anymore. All right, we're gonna kill the zombie a bunch of times. Okay. Uh-oh. There we go. All right. I think zombie's there. Perfect. Beautiful. Dead. Love it. Now, we are going to try... I think you have 5 first order. I think you do. I think this is a better use of these guys. Well, actually, I mean, these guys are mostly Relic 7, so it doesn't matter. But let's do it with this instead. I've been to Vegas for work, for the dojo, for the super show. I'm not a Vegas person. I'm not a gambler. I used to just walk around the casino, like bored. It's just not for me. Zombie Bros. I mean, he has the Omicron, but they do work with the Omicron. Phil does it without the Omicron. But now that he has another child, he's starting to learn that, hey, you need to auto things. Hey, Hugsy. I tried Stranger on my own account on day 1 just to see what the battles look like, and I don't know, I didn't find it to be very interesting. You know, Spider-Maul might change that, but didn't seem like there was that much going on. Ah, there we go. Yeah, the last time I was at a casino, though, was for my bachelor party. It wasn't part of the plan for the day. But it was raining out. We couldn't do my actual plan. The actual plan for the day. So we went, and I ended up winning like $120 on a Batman slot. So it was nice, but it's not really a for me thing. Okay. Let's see if... I don't think that this is going to work for you at all. Honestly, it is probably not going to work for you. Who else? Do we have Darth Vader? You already did your things. We can't do GG. You said you already did your platoons, right? Yeah, you did your platoons. So maybe let's try this. Let's just see if it works. Normally you'd use GG here, but you don't even have Zetas on your GG. Maybe Malik will make this usable, doable. We actually want to kill this zombie a bunch of times so that the zombie doesn't come back. All right, if nothing else, we got 1 wave. Let's see if it works for 2 waves. Yeah, I mean, do we know is it Grand Arena for her? I didn't actually look. We didn't really do a full kit reveal last night on her. Or is it TW? I know people are pumped. People have been, like, waiting for her for a long time. I do this. So Positron on my account, I do this, but I throw General Grievous in instead of Malik. I probably am going to regret that, and Malik will be able to be used somewhere else, but, you know, whatever. We're going to just say that that works. Right? Because we don't... Yeah, we actually don't have any need for that. So if we were to do... Right? So that we set this up, and then... T1... HK, Vader, and Malik. Name that DS open. Move that up top. Excellent. So we have cleared that out. We don't have the Gauntlet Starfighter for this combat mission. Let's do what is important. This is not important yet because you're not deploying there. This is not important yet. We want to make sure that the important ones are done, right? Toughest mission, run last. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to run it right now. Go. Get this going. We don't talk about Philip here. Philip doesn't want to R10 his Wampa, then he does not deserve to be referenced on these videos, these chats, or anywhere else. I don't know, Hugsy. It might be because there's too many buffs and you have to do like the view all buffs thing. I'm not 100% sure. I play by feels. Everybody else plays by like knowledge and math and whatever. I play by feels. I figure things out tactily and I just go, oh, hey, that works. It proceeds to reference me. Phil, do it. R10 Wampa. If you R10 Wampa, I can't R10 Wampa, actually. I need to get 2 more Gungans. This is not a hard battle. Come on, guys. Who says this is a hard battle? The deadpan look. People keep coming to me for advice, and I just go, does he have an R10 Wampa? I kind of go, hey, I just farm Padawan Obi-Wan and Master Qui-Gon. Do I like cutscenes in video games? I don't. I hate cutscenes in video games. I'm not there to watch a movie. I am there to play a video game. That's it. There's nothing else to that. I'm there to play a video game. If there is a cutscene in a video game, please, let me just make sure. Please allow it to be skippable. I don't want to watch it most of the time, especially when there's like 8 different cutscenes in a row. All right. I hate that more than anything else. We're not using gas anywhere, right? No. Okay, good. So let's put gas in this team. And then we have to take out Jedi Knight Luke. Let's put in... let's just put in Bastilla. She should be fine under Jedi Knight. No, you know what it is? When I was growing up, I played tons and tons and tons of story-driven games. I loved story-driven games. I was huge into JRPGs. I loved watching what they called back then FMVs. It was great. It was super awesome. Now that I'm older, I don't have a lot of time to play games. So nothing frustrates me more than knowing I have an hour to play games and 45 minutes of that hour is cutscenes. It annoys the hell out of me. And sometimes in games, I don't give a shit about the story. We were talking about this during Borderlands Night last month. Spider-Man. When Spider-Man first came out, you could not skip cutscenes. You can skip cutscenes now. But I don't give a shit about Spider-Man's story. I've seen Spider-Man's story in 7 different movies. 3, 6, 7, 8. 8 different movies. I've seen 5 different cartoon series. I've read the comic books. I don't need to know how Spider-Man fights the same villain. Just let me play like Spider-Man. It's that simple. You know, like a short cutscene every once in a while does not bother me. But especially like Kingdom Hearts did this a lot, where they would have a cutscene, into a cutscene, into a cutscene, into a cutscene, and then you get to walk around the map a little bit, and then you would get another cutscene. And it was like, I don't care. Stop. Like, let me play the game. Okay, look at that. That worked. Let's see. We are going to skip this for now. Now, this negotiator on auto works. Sometimes it doesn't work. I know users are going to be mad at me if it doesn't win, but I'm the one doing his TB, so... We're going to see if it wins. Yeah, exactly. Like Batman. Oh my god, it's fucking Batman. Like everybody knows Batman. I'm not playing I'm not playing that to see the story. Actually, M3, I apologize. My multi-stream is again not working, so I do have Twitch up, but it was hidden slightly behind. So it was slightly hidden from me, where I was not seeing it as I should have been. This is the one that I need to kill. Talk about a week off and play. Well, we were talking about that before. I'm not watching the games this weekend, most likely. I'm gonna be playing games. I'm gonna be playing video games. I'm gonna be enjoying my time. We'll go into this so that we can get the win. It worked for me today. Well, not today, actually, yesterday. When I got to do this. Let's see. What? Why isn't this one dead? Wasn't this a summon too? Oh, there's 2 droids, and only one of them's a fucking summon. Ugh. Fuck. See, on Dathomir is not that bad if you do Papa Palp lead. If you do Papa Palp lead, C works pretty nicely. God. There we go. It worked. Do I think we're getting more Old Republic? I don't. I actually don't think we're getting more Old Republic. I think it doesn't make sense for them to give us Old Republic as lifters and then give us more Old Republic. I think that CG is just doing what CG does, and they are lifting an old team. And it's really nice when they do that. I enjoy when they do that. As for Fallen Order and Survivor, Sotico, look, I know I'm going to start shit here. Everybody already knows my feelings. I actually find both of those games to be super mediocre. I don't think either of them is very interesting at all. I think that EA played both games very safely because we were so starved for a game like them, and that we just accepted it. The combat to me was not interesting. The skill points seemed tacked on to me. I felt like you kind of had to choose to go the lightsaber route. Everything else was just sort of there. In Survivor, I stopped upgrading my characters about 30% of the way in the game, and I finished the game with like 27 extra skill points because I just had no reason to apply any of them. There was no reason to. I think that the only reason that Fallen Order, or the only reason Survivor was interesting was Merrin. And that's my obsession with Merrin. It has nothing to do with like everyone else is like, oh my god, she's so hot, and I don't care. I just think that she's the only interesting thing about that game, and that if they made a Merrin-centric game using the Spider-Man combat system, that game would slap. Isn't Sekiro a Souls game? I hate Souls games. I've told the story before, but a buddy of mine, knowing I hate Souls games, bought me Elden Ring as a joke, and I finished that game to 100%. I fucked the shit out of that game just so that I could send him a screenshot of my 100% and my middle finger. All right, now let's see where we're going with this. We're gonna keep LS open. Can we do... So let's jump around a little bit. It's not that they're not, it's not that I dislike them because they're not good. I think that they're perfectly fine games. I think that I'm sure they're great for other people. For me, oh, these guys are still Relic 7. Come on, user. Under what, can we get away with it? Can we get away with it? Let's just see if we can get away with it. Let's see if we can fucking do this. It's that I don't have time to learn the mechanics in a Souls game. I don't have time to sit there and fight the same boss for 45 minutes in a Souls game. Okay, we don't want to lose OG Hondo, though, so... Everybody's like, oh, Souls game, they're so amazing. I don't have time for that shit. I don't have time for the games that I play now. I know, R7 Pirates, what is this shit? This is actually one of the only combats where you can go in, user has failed me. Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna give me, a skill system, Sindel, like, that skill system needs to be good. You can't tack shit on. By next week, user is going to have all R9 pirates, and I'm going to wake up in the morning to 50 DMs telling me, don't worry, I got all of my pirates to R9. It's going to happen. Normally, he wails too fast for me. Today... I like to play small games, stupid games, games that I can drop into for like 2 hours, 3 hours. Hades 2? Hades 2 to me is goated. I love the Hades games. Those are so fun to me. I can play that for 20 minutes and I can go to work. User's just waiting till he can go to the web store to upgrade his pirates to R9. He's like, oh man. Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. 4 characters. God, I am goated in TB. You know what, Sindel? I love Mortal Kombat. I love fighting games. but I'm always somebody who is like, I'm good for the average person, but I will not sit there to learn 20 button combos. I will play with other normal people. And I will win or lose based on that. All right, so we are going to put in Maz here, like that. Where else can we get combats? I know Ahsoka. I know this. That's fine. Ooh, Jabba. Is there another cartel? No. You need 5 for this mission. Okay, who's useless? Doku. In 3 weeks that he's going to forget that I did this, and he's going to be making fun of me like, why'd you put Doku in that team? And this is why. Spelunky, I don't remember if I even played the first game, but I know you and Sin were talking about Spelunky last week. It's the kind of game I would give a try. Binding of Isaac, I didn't finish it. It came out at a weird time, but I have played Binding of Isaac. I do enjoy Binding of Isaac. Jedi Links, man, I agree with you. I like side quests. I like side quests a lot, but I don't like when there's too many side quests. So like Fallout 4, that fucking, what's his name, Shepherd guy, who's always every 5 minutes coming at you and going, another settlement needs your help. I don't need that shit. I enjoy side quests when they're meaningful. But the open world, to me, that was Breath of the Wild. I didn't finish Breath of the Wild. I got bored of it. I got about 75% of the way through. And it's just these big open textures, and there's nothing to do in any of it. Do you want to give me an open world? I need interesting things to explore. I don't need to go find 8,000 different shrines around the world. I haven't played Dead Island 2. I have played the original. Man, I don't know if any of you remember when Dead Island 1 first came out and the YouTube trailer dropped. It was the most realistic thing. It was mind-blowingly realistic for the time. Give me a... fuck! Give me a Star Wars roguelike. Give me Rogue Legacy, but Star Wars. I will go to town on that game. God damn, yes! And you know what? I would love a game like Fallen Order, but it needs to be meaningfully done. All right. I don't think that this is going to work, but we don't really have many other options right now. So let's just see what happens. Let's just see what's up. Let us see what's up. Dude, oh my god, I would bust a nut for a Star Wars roguelike if it is done well. Shouldn't have used that tenacity up. Oh well. I don't think before I do things. Let's do this. There was a side quest in what's that game everybody loves? There was The Witcher 3. There was this crazy side quest where you had to go out and find like an aborted baby fetus. It was actually a very interesting side quest, and I'm very glad I did it because in the end you end up fighting a fetus baby monster thing. Yeah, I didn't think that this was gonna work. We didn't have Razor Crest because Razor Crest was in platoons. As of right now, Con Warlock, it looks as though it is not active. Let's see. only have 3 mercs here. What about a quad mate team? So what if we take quad mate here? Just testing some things out. Sure, let's do that. Oh, is it part of the main? Okay, I see. This is how much I know. I thought it was a side quest. Witcher, that's the one game he's played. I haven't even played the first 2 Witchers. I just, during COVID, I played I played the 3rd one. And it was just a really, really solid game. I had a lot. And you know what was great about The Witcher? Is that anytime there was a cutscene, you could press A or whatever you were playing on to skip the text, and it would just jump to the next text line. So you could still watch the cutscene and turn a 6-minute cutscene into like a 2-minute cutscene. Is this my guild's TB? No, it is not. This is on another account. I actually already did my account. I don't think I dropped any waves, if I remember correctly. This is me working my way around a different account to see what we can do with it. My guild does 45 stars in TB. I don't know what this guild does in TB. Go to the castle. What fucking castle, right? Like, there's 8 of them. But anyway, so Fallen Order. I could play a game like Fallen Order. I enjoyed the bones of Fallen Order. Not to be confused with Fuck You Bones. But like, if they gave me a game like that, but they actually, instead of giving me every new age game system available and focused on like 3 or 4 of them and really making them in depth, man, Fallen Order had some of the most boring possible force powers that you could ever even think of. Like, give me fun force powers to play with. Kyle Katarn got fucking lightning. Give me lightning. Give me something that's fun, even if it's only light side powers. Give me something more interesting than push and pull. Because right after you got push and pull, and right after I got sick of throwing stormtroopers off of off of ledges, then 5 minutes later it's like, oh, by the way, every stormtrooper is immune to it now, because now they're purge troopers, so you don't even get to do that fun thing anymore. I'm afraid that Mara Jade is gonna like wipe the floor with me in a second. Oh, she didn't. She got very close. Well, you know what? When user does this on his own, it will be on manual, so it'll be better. Ocarina of Time, I've played that game like a million times. There's a great video, though, that I do really agree with. The guy, forgot what his name is, but he did the sequelist. The sequelist series, and he did the Mega Man X versus Mega Man, which is one of my favorite videos ever. He did one for Ocarina of Time, and he stipulated that he does really love Ocarina of Time, but he was like critically looking at it. And there are a lot of really interesting things, game design wise, that he kind of points out about in Ocarina of Time. And I think it's like 20, 25 minutes, but it's really worth watching. He's very, very funny. Galactic Republic. Who did we use? 1, 2. We used this. We used Keller and Beck. LS. Open. And this, actually, we are going to do this one somewhere else because, well, it's Relic 8, so we might as well use some Relic 8s somewhere. So let's say this is a DS open. And we will need to put someone else in the squad, I think. Maybe not, but let's see. Do we have any more rebels? Let's do... Captain Rex will eventually be usable, so let's do Fulcrum. Let's do Fulcrum and Han Solo and just see what happens. I actually did not enjoy Force Unleashed as much as other people did. You know, I think if we were to compare anything to Force Unleashed just feels like a male power fantasy to me. I didn't find the gameplay to be very interesting even for the time. If we were to compare it to anything, I'd say like Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man was a very powerful character. The combat was really easy, but the combat was really fun. And that was the interesting thing, was like it was really fun to do things. I did not really get that when I was playing Force Unleashed. I feel like it was not as interesting, and the combat was really just kill hordes of enemies without much substance behind it. I don't think it was a bad game, especially for its time. But it wasn't a game for me. I can enjoy killing a shitload of people with Force Lightning because I played Jedi Academy, the Kyle Katarn games. Man, these games have done Kyle Katarn dirty. That's what I will say to you. They have done Kyle Katarn dirty. Taunt. Dude, honestly, he's fine. All right, man. That's all that matters. That sucks. Like, that can be scary. I completely understand that. But, you know, if your son is okay, then that's the only thing that matters. I'm not really convinced on that last battle that we just did, personally. We're going to change that to... Oh, it wouldn't. It would be NS. We're going to keep that as you, and we'll keep Captain Rex for that. Ahsoka, oh, most of them are still 7. All right, so then we will do Ahsoka on light side. And we will give... Whoa, we can give her Fulcrum, actually. Oh, I used Fulcrum. Shit. I don't think it's going to matter. Let's do... I don't know. Let's do... Ben. Let's see what happens. Next time we'll put Fulcrum here. I enjoyed Skeleton Crew. I really liked... What sold me on Skeleton Crew, and I know other people didn't like this, but the opening scene where it's just like a suburban family in Star Wars land, we've never seen that before. We've always seen fighting. We've always seen the combatants. We've always seen the front lines. We've seen poor people on Tatooine. We've never just seen, this is family in Star Wars land, dealing with Star Wars-y times, going to school, playing with Star Wars action figures. Like, I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. That was so awesome. My wife doesn't give a shit about Star Wars, so I watched it while she was away. But that was so cool to me. I want to see... I don't need a whole show centered around that, but I want to see more of that. It was a fun little kids romp. You know, like that to me, I enjoyed. I understand it not always feeling like Star Wars. I get that. I don't need laser swords in all of my Star Wars. I don't need every character to connect personally. But I really enjoyed the take that was in there. All right. Let's see, we don't have Wookiees to do. We could have done... Oh, we do have Captain Rex still. Rex. I guess we're gonna have to make some changes then. Create new squad. 501st. Zepho SM. Which means we are gonna have to change this back to Han. That's fine. I just call him Pirate Captain Jude Law. I don't even call him Jod. It's Pirate Captain Jude Law 100% of the time. I don't know if your mods are super amazing on your 501st for this to work. We are about to find out. That's fine. You know what the great thing is, Jedi Links, is that we don't all need to have the same thing, the same enjoyment in stories. And what I think people need to get better at, because I think as a world we're just terrible at this, is recognizing that something can be good, but also not for you at the same time. You know, when it comes to Fallen Order, I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's a mediocre game. But I have very specific reasons that have to do with, like, the actual mechanics behind the things that they did. But I'm not going to ever tell someone that they are wrong for liking that game. You know, it's not for me. It didn't do the things I needed it to do. In the same way that I feel like Skeleton Crew, I understand why it's not for everybody. For me, it was great. Like, it was what it needed to be. Fuck you, Bones. Stranger sucks. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew he was gonna do it. I called it on Tuesday. That is my other prediction, that Bones was just gonna cry and cry and cry about the Stranger. He was gonna... I knew it was just gonna be like Malicos. I knew it was gonna be just like Balin. I knew he was gonna do it. I knew it. Oh, I saw that you DM'd me, and I did not get a chance to look at it yet. I fucking knew it. All right, we can't do that. All right, so user, no prediction show. We have basically, I mean, no, because we're not going to be able to do JMK without, here, let's see, what can we do? We could just do this for funsies. What do we need? We need an Ufu. We have the Stranger. We need 2 dark side Ufus. That's all we have. We need a light side Ufu. And we need a Jedi, right? So does the Stranger have any anti-GL in his kit? I don't even care because JMK is useless right now, so we're gonna just do it. This isn't winning anyway. I do not expect this to win. This is just extra. There you go. Stranger sucks, Bones. All right. User, let's see. Let's see. What are your combats like? Completed waves. You are at 87. Well, that's all right. You are at 87 waves on day 4, my man. Your goal was 100. There you go. We got you to 87 in 4 days. You have 2 more days to do the rest of the combats. I haven't set up the rest of your combats yet. Of course, this is how things always happen. Somebody raids in, and that person is getting towards the end of their stream. I have to teach. I have karate to teach. I have to head to the dojo. I have shit to do. I see people who are online. I see somebody. No, that's the Old Republic. Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. This, I don't know who this guy is, but he seems to have a bunch of people. Oh, it's in like German or Dutch. That's why. I guess nobody would understand him. So there really isn't anyone for me to raid into. But thank you for being. Big Boat's on? Is Big Boat on? Is Big Boat on? I didn't see him. Hold on. Is Big Boat on? I don't see Big Boat on. Big Boat isn't on. What the fuck you talking about? Are you just saying Big Boat because I am Big Boat? I don't see the boat on. But yeah, why is Phil on YouTube yelling Big Boat, Big Boat, Big Boat over and over again? Because he's spazzing out. Oh, yeah, no, he's on my... I follow Big Boat. He is not on. I checked. With that said, I appreciate you guys joining me today. I know I don't always get everything right, but I do try my best to be smart. He forgot his meds. I do try my best to be smart about things. I am looking forward to brunch this Sunday. I am always looking forward to brunch on Sundays. We will do all of our regular stuff that day, but I do need to get